They laughed at him. Not quietly, not behind closed doors. They laughed openly, boldly, and without shame. They mocked his dreams, ridiculed his ambition, and passed his name around like a joke at a party he was never invited to. And yet, he is the one history remembers. Welcome. Today we are going to talk about something that does not get discussed enough. What really happens when the world underestimates you? What it costs, what it builds, and what it ultimately produces when a person refuses to let ridicule become their funeral. This is not just a story about one man. This is a pattern, a recurring chapter in the biography of nearly every person who has ever done something worth remembering. So stay with me, because by the end of this, you will never look at mockery the same way again. Part 1. The nature of ridicule. Let us start at the beginning. Let us talk about what ridicule actually is, because most people misunderstand it completely. When someone laughs at your dream, your first instinct is to feel shame, to shrink, to wonder if maybe they are right. Maybe you are too small. Maybe your vision is too big. Maybe you should go back to being ordinary. But here is what no one tells you about ridicule. It is not actually about you. Ridicule is a defense mechanism. It is what people do when your ambition makes them uncomfortable, when your vision exposes the gap between what they are doing with their lives and what they know they should be doing. Laughing at you is easier than confronting themselves. Think about it this way. Nobody mocks the person who stays in line. Nobody ridicules the one who follows the expected path, takes the safe job, and lives the predictable life. The crowd only laughs at the ones who dare to step out. That laughter is not rejection. That laughter is a signal. It means you have stepped far enough outside the ordinary that ordinary people do not know what to do with you. And that, if you understand it correctly, is one of the most powerful confirmations you will ever receive. Part 2. The stories history keeps telling. Now let us look at the evidence, because this is not theory. This is a pattern that history has repeated so many times, it should be impossible to ignore. Consider Abraham Lincoln. Before he became one of the most celebrated leaders in American history, he was laughed at constantly. He was poor, poorly dressed, and had an awkward way of speaking that people found amusing. He lost elections. He failed in business. People around him questioned whether he had any real ability at all. The newspapers mocked him. Politicians dismissed him. And then he became President of the United States and led a nation through its most defining crisis. Consider Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest minds in the history of human civilization. A man whose ideas were so far ahead of his time that the people around him genuinely believed he had lost his mind. He was ridiculed by colleagues, undermined by competitors, and died with almost nothing to his name. And yet today, the entire world runs on systems built from his imagination. Consider Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she was told she was unfit for television, that her look was wrong, that her voice was wrong, that she simply did not have what it takes. She was fired from her first television job, laughed off as someone who would never make it. Today, she is one of the most influential human beings who has ever lived. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations of a principle. The people who change the world are almost always the ones the world first tried to laugh away. Part 3. What happens in the dark. Here is the part of the story that most people never see. The part that happens between the laughter and the rise. Because there is always a period, sometimes months, sometimes years, sometimes decades, where the person who will eventually rise is invisible. They are not on stage. They are not being celebrated. They are somewhere quiet, doing the work that nobody is watching. While the crowd laughs, they read. While the critics talk, they build. While the doubters sleep, they prepare. This is the most important phase of any great life. Not the moment of triumph, not the speech at the podium or the headline in the newspaper. The invisible season. The years of grinding in the dark when nobody believes in you and you have to believe in yourself hard enough for everyone. This is where character is not just tested. This is where character is manufactured. Because comfort does not build greatness. Applause does not build resilience. Struggle does.
Rejection does. Being laughed at and choosing to continue anyway. That builds something inside a person that cannot be bought, borrowed, or faked. The people who rise from ridicule are not just successful, they are unbreakable. And the reason they are unbreakable is because ridicule was their training ground. Part 4. The psychology of the crowd. Let us go a little deeper now. Let us talk about why crowds behave the way they do. Why groups of otherwise reasonable people can collectively laugh at something that will later seem obviously brilliant. There is a concept in psychology called social conformity. It describes the human tendency to align our beliefs and behaviors with the people around us. We are tribal creatures. We look to the group to understand what is safe, what is acceptable, and what is allowed. When someone steps outside the norm, the group feels threatened, not physically, but psychologically. Because if one person can reject the rules and pursue something different, it raises an uncomfortable question for everyone else. What am I doing with my life? It is much easier to laugh. Laughter is a social act. It brings the group together. It signals that the odd one out is wrong and the group is right. It restores the feeling of safety. But here is what the crowd never considers. Every single thing that makes modern life possible was once someone's crazy idea. Every invention, every movement, every breakthrough began with one person willing to be laughed at. The crowd laughs because the crowd cannot see what the visionary sees. And that is not an insult to the crowd. It is simply the nature of vision. Vision, by definition, is the ability to see something before it exists. And you cannot expect people to applaud what they cannot yet see. So the next time the crowd laughs at you, remember this. Their laughter is not evidence that you are wrong. It is evidence that you can see further than they can. Part 5. The turning point. Every great story has a turning point. The moment where the tide shifts, where the laughter stops and the silence begins. This turning point rarely happens dramatically. It does not usually arrive with a thunderclap or a grand announcement. Most often it arrives quietly. A result that cannot be ignored, a creation that speaks for itself, a moment where the work becomes undeniable. And this is where something fascinating happens in the psychology of the crowd. The same people who laughed begin to rewrite the story. Suddenly, they were never really against you. Suddenly, they always believed in you. Suddenly, they are proud to say they knew you when. This is not hypocrisy exactly. It is human nature. People align themselves with success because success feels safe. The same instinct that made them mock you in the beginning makes them celebrate you at the end. The crowd has not changed. The crowd has simply updated its understanding of which side is winning. But you will know the truth. You will remember the years they did not believe. You will remember what it cost to keep going when the only voice telling you to continue was your own. And that memory will be one of your greatest assets, because it will keep you humble and it will keep you hungry. Part 6. How to use ridicule as fuel. So, let us make this practical. Let us talk about what you actually do when you are in the middle of it. When the laughter is real and the doubt is loud and the path forward feels impossible. First, document the doubt. Keep a record of who said you could not do it and when they said it. Not out of bitterness, out of clarity. There will be days when you need to remind yourself exactly why you cannot afford to quit. Second, separate the message from the emotion. When someone laughs at your dream, your emotional response is pain. But underneath that pain, there is sometimes useful information. Ask yourself honestly, is there anything in their criticism that I can learn from? If yes, extract it and use it. If no, discard it and move forward. Third, let the work speak. Do not argue with doubters. Do not try to convince people who have already decided. The most powerful response to ridicule is not a speech, it is a result. Put your energy into producing something undeniable and let that do the talking for you. Fourth, protect your inner circle. You cannot control who laughs at you, but you can control who you spend your time with. Surround yourself with people who challenge you and believe in you at the same time. That combination, high standards and genuine belief, is rare and worth protecting fiercely. Fifth, remember that speed is irrelevant. Some people rise in 2 years, some people take 20. The timeline does not determine the outcome. The only thing that ends the journey permanently is the decision to stop.
As long as you continue, the story is not over. Closing. Power does not argue. We come back now to where we began. They laughed at him, and he let them. He did not fight the laughter. He did not beg for their belief. He did not waste energy trying to prove himself to people who had already made up their minds. He simply worked, day after day, in the invisible season, doing what needed to be done with the resources he had, building toward a vision only he could see. And then, one day, not overnight, not magically, but inevitably, he arrived. And the laughter stopped. Because that is the nature of power built on purpose. It does not ask for permission. It does not require applause to keep moving. It does not crumble under the weight of other people's opinions. It simply builds. Quietly. Consistently. Relentlessly. Until the day it becomes undeniable. So if you are sitting somewhere right now, carrying a dream that people around you do not understand, I want you to hear this clearly. Their laughter is not your verdict. It is your invitation. An invitation to prove that what lives inside you is stronger than what they think of you. History does not remember the ones who laughed. It remembers the one who rose. Now go. Build something worth remembering.